Consonant sounds are very different in English and in Spanish. In English, there are 21 letters to represent 24 consonant sounds. In Spanish, the number of consonant sounds is 37, including the corresponding allophones. There is one consonant grapheme which doesn't exist in English. It is ñ, in words like niño, ñoño, ñame. The p, t, k sounds, which are plosive in English, are softer in Spanish. Take a look at the difference. Pill, pera, take, tenga, kiss, café. Also, as these occlusive voiceless sounds are aspirated in English but not in Spanish, they can be confused with their occlusive voiced pairs, b, d, and g, resulting in confusions in the minimal pairs, like bill, pill. The sounds b, d, g are always strong sounds in English. Bad, about, curb, duck, edit, bat, get, again, leg. While in Spanish, they sound different if they are at the beginning of the word or before a vowel. Lado, dona, gato, daga, baño, tribu. But the sound b is only strong before the vowel sounds a, o, and u in both languages. Gaga, goal and good. Gato, gol, and gusto. In English, before e and e, it sounds j, like in gentleman, and gen. And in Spanish, it sounds like in gente and ginebra. There are some sounds which don't exist in Spanish. For example, the sound sh, generally written as h, which is found in the words sheet and shine, is like an S sound, but it's more similar when you ask somebody to shut up. While the sound ch exists in Spanish, and it's even stronger than in English. Chucho, cheap, salchicha, catch. Another consonant sound that doesn't exist in Spanish is z. In English, we can find it in words like jeep. It doesn't have an equivalent sound in Spanish, but it's similar to the sound produced in some regions of Argentina, like in the following phrase: Ella me llamó, está lloviendo. In addition, the sound z doesn't exist in Spanish. It is just an allophone of the s sound. In English, this is different because it is kind of vibrating sound. It is like when we imitate the sound of a bee. Zebra, visit, desert. The sound generally written th, is a fricative voiceless sound, found in words like truth, thirsty. In Spanish, the graphemes to represent this sound are the C before E or I and Z in words such as cinco, cera, zapato, and zebra. The sound D is also written th, but is a fricative voiced sound, which results in words like those, they, which is similar to the D in Spanish when it's written between two vowels, ada, dado. The sound in English is produced with the tongue raised but without touching the palate. In American English it is always pronounced, while in British English it is pronounced only when there is a vowel after it. Hot, hot. However, in American English, when there is a flap, it is very similar to the R produced in Spanish. Example, pretty, butterfly. The sound is like the pronunciation of the grapheme J in Cuba or Andalusia. It means that it is aspirated. Example, house, heart, while the in Castilla touches the throat, like in the word jaguar. This sound doesn't exist in English. The sound can be also an allophone, resulting from some dialects, when the S or the Z are positioned before another consonant or when they are in the final position. Examples: costa, arroz. The sound E usually stands for the grapheme Y. In Spanish, it is either a vowel sound or a consonant sound. For example, as a vowel, we can find it in some diphthongs, like buey, ley, and rey, and as a consonant in words like yate, yeso, and yuca. In English, it is always a semivowel, yellow, yard. Finally, there are some important things to consider. The sounds b and v are different in English. The sound b is bilabial, like in the words break and bend, and the sound v is labiodental, like in the words very and villain. In Spanish, those sounds are both bilabial in initial position, like in vela and binario, but in central position they are an allophone of this sound, which is not totally bilabial, uva, ava. Besides, there are combinations of consonant plus vowel which are pronounced in a different way. It occurs, for example, with the consonant Q, k, when it's followed of an U plus an E or E, like in queen, quite, or quick. In Spanish, the U sound is not pronounced. Let's take a look at some examples: queso and quijada. Keeping all those things in mind will help Hispanophones to improve the pronunciation of English language.